Hello girls, welcome back to our lesson. We are in Module 6, Food Please. By the end of today's lesson, you will be able to describe using sentences correctly. You will be using there is or there's and there are. Now let's do a quick recap. Do you still remember when do we use there is and there are? There is used with singular noun. For example, there is a book. There's a book. Singular noun means only one. We use a to show that it is only one book. There are is used with plural noun. For example, there are books. There are 3 books. Plural means more than one. That is why we need to add s behind book to show that there are more than one book. Now, there is and there's is also used for uncountable noun. For example, there is some milk. There's some milk. We cannot count milk. That is why it is called as uncountable noun. For uncountable nouns, we use some. Some 的意思就是一些 ，milk 是不能数的，所以我们用一些。Another thing, for uncountable nouns, we will treat them as singular noun. That is why there is no s behind the milk. And we use there is instead of there are. 不能数的名词，我们就把它当成一个，所以我们用 there is 跟 there's。然后呢，名词的后面也是没有放 s 的。So let's recap. Singular means only one. Plural means more than one, and uncountable means cannot be counted. For singular and uncountable nouns, we use there is or there's. For plural nouns, we use there are. Do pause this video here and copy these grammar notes into your journal. Are you done? Now let's listen to the audio.
Activity 2. Look at Activity 1. Point and say.
There's some milk in the fridge.
There are some carrots on the table.
Let's listen to it again.
Activity 2. Look at Activity 1. Point and say.
There's some milk in the fridge.
There are some carrots on the table.
Alright, repeat after me. There's some milk. There are some eggs. You must be wondering, why is the word some being used in both sentences? Some is very special. You can use some for singular noun, or plural noun, or uncountable noun. So over here, milk cannot be counted. So we use there's some milk. We can count eggs. So the sentence will be there are some eggs. Some 是很特别的 ，some 的意思就是一些，所以我们可以把它用成在 singular noun、plural noun 或者是 uncountable nouns 都可以用的。Now let's point and describe the picture. Milk. Do you remember the previous slide? How should the sentence be? Should we use there's or there are? Milk is uncountable, so there's some milk in the fridge. Now, what about eggs? We can count eggs, so we should use there are. There are some eggs in the fridge. Next will be juice. Can we count juice? No, we cannot count juice. So we should use there's instead of there are. There's some juice in the fridge. What about lettuce? We can count it as heads of lettuce, but lettuce itself is not countable. Lettuce is an uncountable noun. Therefore, we will use there's. There's some lettuce on the table. Next will be tomatoes. Can we count them? Yes, we can. There are 3 tomatoes on the table. What about onions? Can we count them? Yes, we can. There are 2 onions on the table. The same goes for carrots. We can count carrots, so our sentence should be there are 2 carrots on the table. Now, what about sugar? Can we count sugar? No, we can't. We will have to use there's some in our sentence. There's some sugar in the cupboard. And then next one will be chocolate. Can we count chocolate? We can't. We can count them as a bar of chocolate or 2 bars of chocolate, but chocolate itself is not countable. We will have to use there's some in our sentence. There's some chocolate in the cupboard. Lastly, flour. Can we count flour? There is not the flowers in your garden. This flour is used for making noodles and bread. We can't count it. Our sentence should be, there's some flour in the cupboard. Let's see if you really understand how to use there's and there are. So take out your journal. You'll be writing your sentences in it. You will be given 5 minutes. Here are the pictures. We have rice, strawberries, asparagus, yogurt, eggs, and plum. Write your sentences using there's or there are. Remember, we use there's for singular and uncountable nouns. There are is used for plural nouns only. Alright, are you done? Let's check your answers. The first one. There's a bowl of rice on the table. Or there's some rice in the bowl. Both are correct. What about the strawberries? There are 4 strawberries in my hands. There are some strawberries in my hands. Asparagus, we cannot count asparagus. So there's some asparagus on the chopping board. Yogurt, can we count yogurt? No, we can't. So there's some yogurt in the bowl. What about plum? Can we count them? Yes, we can. There are 2 plums in my hand. There are some plums in my hand. Both are correct. Lastly, what about the eggs? Can we count them? Yes, we can. There are 6 eggs in the tray. There are some eggs in the tray. Now let's practice some more. What's in the fridge? This is my fridge. Can you tell me what's in the fridge? Here are some words to help you. You will have to write out 10 sentences, one for each of these words. Remember to use there's some or there are some. Let me give you an example. The first item is banana. It's over here in the fridge. Can we count banana? Yes, we can. So we'll use there are some bananas. When you use some, you don't have to put down the numbers. You don't have to put down there are some 3 bananas. That is wrong. If you use some, you don't have to put in the numbers. Just write there are some bananas or there are 3 bananas. But the question here is you have to use there are some or there's some. So don't add in the numbers. And because bananas can be counted, and we have more than 1 banana over here, you have to put S behind banana. There are some bananas. In short, for plural nouns, when you use are, there should be S behind the noun. Please pause this video here till you have written down the remaining 9 sentences. Then we will check your sentences together. Are you done? Alright, let's look at chocolate. Where's the chocolate? It's over here. We cannot count chocolate, so the sentence should be there's some chocolate. Next, milk. Milk is over here. We cannot count milk, so our sentence should be there's some milk. Next will be cheese. Can we count cheese? No, we can't. Our sentence should be there's some cheese. Next will be cake. Can we count cake? No, we can't. We can count it as a piece of cake or 2 pieces of cake. But the cake itself, we cannot count it. Cake is an uncountable noun. For uncountable noun, our sentence should be There's some cake. What about oranges? They're over here. We can count oranges. So our sentence should be, there are some oranges. Next, tomatoes. Again, we can count tomatoes. So our sentence should be, there are some tomatoes. Next one, orange juice. Can we count orange juice? I've mentioned earlier, we cannot count juice. So the sentence should be, there's some orange juice. Apples. We can count them. They are over here. There are some apples. Lastly, chicken. Can we count chicken? The chicken over here is already cooked. It is the meat of a chicken. We cannot count meat, so the chicken here is uncountable. Our sentence should be, there's some chicken. Alright, it's homework time. You'll be writing it in your English 1. Look carefully, English 1, not your journal. As usual, put down today's day and date, Thursday, 5th August. This is EX8. You will be writing 10 sentences. You do not need to leave a space between your sentences. You'll be writing based on this picture. There are 10 pictures, one for each sentence. For example, number 1 is cake. I have mentioned before, cake is uncountable noun. So, do we use there's some cake or there are some cakes? It should be there's some cake. Cake is not countable, so we have to use there's, not there are. Do remember to use capital letter at the beginning of your sentence and full stop at the end of it. There should be finger spaces when you write. The apostrophe should be between the red and blue line. And tall letters like the H and K must touch the red line. Letters with tail too must touch the red line as well. Once you are done with your writing, take a picture of your English 1 and upload it to Google Classroom. That's the end of today's lesson. I will see you again in the next lesson. Bye-bye.